Darren, what is one tax strategy every realtor should at least consider?
Entity choice. They oftentimes come to us as an LLC without an S election or just a sole proprietor. But then when they start to make more money, they find out that most of their tax is self-employment tax, and the S corporation election makes that magically go away.
And what would you say is the biggest misconception about IRS rules among realtors?
Probably would say that a lot of realtors feel like their time is pretty unstructured, and there's a lot of expenses that could sort of be like personal expenses for most people, but for a realtor, they're business expenses. And so they have questions about, would this be deductible or not? Things that are sort of quasi-personal, quasi-business. If it's for a business purpose, it's completely deductible. For instance, your business use vehicle, or if you're a realtor with an S corp, you'd have your S corp buy that. Or if you bought it personally, there's a way we do an accountable reimbursable plan for an enhanced vehicle reimbursement, and the S corp reimburses the realtor, the individual, for that vehicle. And that's how we get the full deduction of that vehicle on the S corp books. But the end result is your vehicle is deductible when you're a realtor. So that's like an example of something that's kind of personal use, but now you're using it for business as a realtor. And oftentimes, even if you bought that vehicle, several years ago and you didn't deduct it ever, you can still do that. You can convert a car or a truck. The best thing is a truck that has over a 6-foot bed and over 6,000 pound gross vehicle weight. Or the next best thing is an SUV that's over 6,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating. You can convert those from personal to business and get the deduction in that year that you convert it. So the year you start, using it for business. A lot of realtors, they might have bought their car a few years ago, maybe when they weren't a realtor, maybe when they weren't making enough money to worry about tax deductions. And then all of a sudden now they are. So it's not like you have to go buy a new vehicle to get the deduction. All you need to do is convert the vehicle you already had to business use. There's a way to do this.
What is your best piece of advice to realtors who feel overwhelmed by it?
For realtors, I would say hire a tax advisor, not just a tax preparer. When you're making enough money to have to worry about taxes, hire a tax advisor that's going to, probe and ask the right questions and set up the planning strategies. If you just go with like a do-it-yourself or a tax preparer or a friend or a relative to prepare your tax return, they're not going to spend any time figuring out the strategies.